Ladies and gents, and happy Halloween, I guess. This is Halloween today. Halloween and Diwali here is in the same day, as you can hear it. Fireworks going out. Yeah, this is about Nighthawk being shot down. This is like one of the most infamous stories out there. In 1999, Nighthawk was shot down. It's the first time, right? Like people are like, oh, look at that, like stealth plane was shot down. So how that happened, was the reason behind it. It's a Yarnhub video. It's been a while since I watched a Yarnhub video, but it was about like I'm pretty sure one of the video was about a bomber plane in World War II or something. That was really good story, right? So Yarnhub is really good at this. So I don't know. Is this gonna be about like technical video, or is it gonna be like point to point, like what happened, how it went down and shit? So let's watch this one.
It's the 27th of March 1999. An F-117 Nighthawk tears through the dark, stormy skies, low over the Serbian countryside. The pilot is Lieutenant Colonel Daryl Zalko, and his mission is to bomb the command center of the Serbian Air Force in Belgrade. It's the headquarters of the force that's going to try and stop him on his mission tonight. Zalko's escorted by F-16 Vipers with missiles that can lock on and destroy enemy radar. As he approaches the Serbian border, he hears a command come over the radio.
This is Joint Forces Air Component Commander.
Because of the bad weather, the escorting Vipers are ordered to immediately turn back and return to base. He's on his own. If he's to make it home safely, he has to remain undetected. A ghost. Fortunately, he's in the most advanced operational fighter bomber that has ever flown. The Nighthawk's stealth capabilities make the 65-foot-long bomber appear on radar as if it was the size of a tennis ball, allowing it, so far, to go unchallenged in every mission. That is, every mission until this one. On the ground, an anti-air missile battery is waiting for him. It's under command of Lieutenant Colonel Zoltan Dani. Serbian spies have let him know that the enemy aircraft are coming, and he thinks today is his best chance to take down one of the elusive ghosts.
Pretraži nebo.
Sweep the skies, Dani orders, and the P-18 early warning radar comes to life.
Uključen je.
They think at its lowest frequency it may be capable of detecting the enemy planes,
Nema cilja.
but it also detects clouds and rain, resulting in a screen covered in fake signals.
Tražiš cilj.
But looking closely, Dani sees something.
Vidim ga.
One tiny dot moving through the masses of cloud.
Wait a minute, I never thought of it that way. But yeah, like in World War II, there was an incident where like clouds made a weird radar issue, and like Soviet thought the Americans fired a nuclear missile or something. So clouds and shit really affects radar. So whenever you hear about all these like different fifth generation style fighters who has really small radar section, other shit like clouds and things like smallest phenomenons in the skies could have the same signature. So it makes it even more stealthier, because how would you know if it's a plane or something else? It's really hard to pinpoint, isn't it? And this is 1999. If the objective was to bomb something, why did they use Nighthawk again? Like they had B-2 around this time. Why not use B-2? Isn't B-2 better?
A tiny dot headed right towards them.
Duh je ovde.
Uključi nišanski radar.
Uključen je.
Imamo 20 sekundi. Nema cilja.
Nema cilja.
Nastavi da tražiš cilj.
Zalko's Nighthawk speeds towards its objective, the computer preparing the drop.
Hajdemo opet. P1 I P2, traži cilj.
Dani double-checks the low-frequency radar. He can see the target. It's right in front of them. But he needs the SAM radar to get a lock.
Nema cilja.
The men scan the sky just as instructed.
Nema cilja.
Yet, the screens remain dead. But then, Zalko opens his bomb bay, increasing the Nighthawk's radar signature just at the wrong moment.
Imam ga. Fi-2 prati cilj.
Fi-1 pratim cilj.
Lansiraj.
Two missiles fire off the launcher in quick succession. Streaking across the sky, Zalko drops his bombs. They follow the path designated by the laser and explode. He soars past the target, It's another mission success, and he ascends to 6 kilometers. But a few seconds later, his cockpit is filled with the wail of an urgent alarm, and his controls light up. It's a lock alert. Almost at the same time, he sees the 2 missiles illuminate the clouds below him, and then break through. They're coming right at him. He immediately breaks into evasive maneuvers. He pulls his aircraft up to try and escape. He's pushed into his seat as he ascends, as the aircraft screams more warnings at him.
Yeah, the fucked up thing about this is in order to make planes stealthy, right, they have to make a lot of compromises. So being nimble would be one of the compromises, I'm guessing, right? Because you have to like have just right angles, things, right? Just to like avoid radar, but that could like, have problems with nimbleness, right? So I don't know, man. Like now, like your stealth plane is like detected, missiles are coming. Now you have to create evasion maneuvers. Like, is it that good for that? Like, I don't know about that. Like, comment down. Is F-117 is that good in like how F-16 and other like dogfighting planes are? Is it that good? Because this is just fucking insane, man. And imagine that, right? Every time you watch Call of Duty and all that, these kind of scenes are in the movie, like, oh, this is so good, movie and games. This is real life. He actually got found out, like missiles drop, mission success. Now, like, yeah, people are now going to hunt you. The heartbeat rises up, blood pressure rises up. And then you actually see SAM warning missiles in the distance. Oh, this is some fucked up thing. This is the moment when you realize, like, how good someone is, how they respond from here, right?
The F-117 has no chaff. So with the missile locked on, it's entirely on the pilot's actions to try and evade the threat. Time slows. He knows it's over.
I know it's theatrics, but time never slows. If anything, it's like speeds up, right? A lot of scientists talk about that time slow thing is not real, right? If your adrenaline is going high, your responses are heightened as well, but time doesn't really slow down. It's like, if anything, it speeds up because you remember it as speeded up. If you look back at it, like it will look like a blur in a way.
Over.
They got me.
These are proximity missiles and should detonate near the aircraft. Somehow the first missile malfunctions and races by his canopy. The second missile, though, doesn't malfunction. It explodes, sending out a cloud of sharp shrapnel that perforates the left wing of his Nighthawk. The entire left side is blasted to pieces, illuminating the night sky a fiery orange. The aircraft immediately loses control and is thrown into a wild spin. As the plane spins, Zalko is pinned to his seat and experiences severe G-forces. The spin increases in violence. Flashing warnings illuminate his controls, and a bright flame shines through the cockpit windows as the landscape spins around him. He knows he's in a critical situation. Even ejection might prove fatal, but it's his only choice. He fights 7 Gs of force, 100 pounds pulling up on each of his arms. Fueled by adrenaline, he gets hold of the ejection handles and pulls. In the blink of an eye, the canopy is blasted away, and his seat rockets out of the cockpit. For 1.5, almost eternal seconds, Zalko freefalls through the air, stuck to his chair. He's barely conscious, and he thinks that the seat's still inside the plane and that the ejection seat has malfunctioned. But then, he feels the tug of the opening parachute and sees his burning Nighthawk.
Things are happening so fast. I mean, he doesn't even realize like he's out. So imagine the chaos, right? The plane spins that fast, 7G. He, suddenly like suits out, but he's spinning so much and things are happening so fast. He still doesn't realize he's not inside the plane anymore. Imagine the intensity, man. And this is some engineering marvel, right? Seat shooting out. But if the plane is spinning like that, any kind of like a mistake and like a seat itself would start to spin out, right? And like tumble down. You can't open parachute like that. So you really need to figure shit out, like how to perfectly create ejector seats. This is engineering marvel right here.
Tumbling away into the night. The violence of the spinning wreck is replaced by a total calm. Zalko breathes heavily as he takes it all in. He's alive, but then another thought hits him.
Man, Mom is not going to be happy about this.
He knows the enemy are going to be searching for him. If he can't fall to the ground unseen, He can still get rescued and get back home with no further complications. But then he looks up. He notices his parachute is bright orange. He might as well be waving a flare. With his hopes of going unseen.
Wait a minute. Why is it bright orange again? I don't get it. Why is it bright orange? Like, shouldn't they make it like, I guess they never thought of it, like, oh, why would it get shot down or something? Like, but then again, like, why would you have like ejector parachute that bright? I guess in the situation, like maybe in your friendly place, people will be easier to find you. But that's the same issue in like enemy territory, isn't it? Like people can easily find you now.
Scene dashed, he takes out a survival radio to report he's alive and well.
Mayday, 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 Vega 3-1, Vega 3-1 going down.
To his massive relief, the mayday is heard.
Vega 3-1, Magic copies your mayday. Last position?
Vega 3-1, last position in aircraft. Point after target.
Zalko sees a ditch from above. He doesn't get to say much more before hitting the ground. He's now alone, deep behind enemy lines. Zalko runs for the ditch he saw on the way down. He quickly paints himself with mud and tries to hide as he awaits rescue. News of the downed plane quickly spreads. Serbians waste no time and rapidly initiate a search. All around him, the activity gains momentum as more and more men appear. Men of the Serbian army comb the area, gradually joined by local policemen and civilians as the news spreads. Everybody wants to find him. Flashlights illuminate the
This
fields
is intense.
and trucks roll past on the nearby highway. Zalko can do nothing but sit and pray. Then he hears a rustle in the undergrowth getting louder. Just outside his ditch, someone is searching. He stays still and quiet like a rock, quieting his breath. He hears panting and snuffling. It's a dog.
Search dog?
Slowly and carefully, Zalko pulls out his knife. The dog gets closer. He weighs his options. Should he kill the dog? If he did, could he do it silently? He finally makes up his mind.
This is so fucked up. Even if he kills the dog, people now know that the guy was here. It's a paper trail. This is so intense, man. This is like one of those Tom Cruise level movies, right? Like where every minute is intense. It could be 1.5 hour movie, but you will feel like it's a 5 hour one because of intensity. And he actually lived through this. Imagine that, right? I mean, I'm a very imaginatory person, right? Like whenever I watch something, I try to process it that way. Every single minute of this is insane, man. You imagine, oh, by the way, Serbians are looking for you. Holy shit, there's a dog here. What to do? Like, this is like, you know, the nerves of steel. You need that. Otherwise, like, you would fumble really badly, right? This is 99, right? Like 1999. It's not some like wartime zone where people are used to this type of shit. This is 1999. This is insane.
Spare the dog, reasoning that if he did kill it, the owner would be quick to follow. Then, to Zalko's massive relief, the dog turns, jumps up, and leaves. The radio crackles to life.
Sandy 01, Vega 3-1, over.
Zalko's eyes go wide. They're here.
Go ahead, Sandy 01. Over.
Vega 3-1, is it okay to come down there?
Zalko doesn't respond. He peeks out of his hiding spot, searching the area for threats. Flashlights shine in the distance.
Vega 3-1, if you don't answer, we're gonna try this later.
He makes his decision.
Yeah, okay. Let's go for it.
Zalko turns on his infrared strobe. As a chopper races into the area, but the strobe fails and the helicopter can't see him. He curses his luck and desperately checks for threats.
They can't. The Serbians can see him. It's an infrared thing. So like they have infrared probably things like goggles and things, the military ones. Holy shit. It's like this all feels like gamble. Like, will gamble pay off? No, it didn't. Holy shit.
He has a backup, but it's nowhere near as subtle. But it's now or never. Zalko makes a quick decision and pops a flare.
Those people are just there. They can see you. They can literally shoot at you. This is some ballsy move, man. Like, I don't know. Like, what would you have done, right? Like, obviously, this would be the right move because he survived probably to live the tale. Like, I would make the wrong decision here. Like, try to hide more. But then again, I'm not trained like him. But I would hide more and shit like that. This is insane.
Bright light spills all around him and illuminates the area, pointing out his position for the rescue helicopter and the enemy alike.
There he is.
The helicopter sweeps in rapidly as the enemy also closes in at the same time in the distance. Flashlights from enemy patrols are all pointed towards the flare. But then another transmission comes through the radio.
Snuff your flare. It blinds our night vision.
Thinking quickly, Zalko rushes to take the flare and dunk it in the mud, just as the rescue helicopter comes in to land right in front of him, and is greeted by an American rescue team.
How you feeling, sir?
Great. Now let's get out of here.
The field is blasted with wind as the helicopter rises up into the air and exits the scene with just seconds to spare before the enemy spills over the landing site. Zoltan Dani and his crew, to this day, remain the only team to have downed a stealth aircraft in combat. When talking about the incident, Dani would later say, "When it hit, it felt very good."
Kao da ste postigli pobednički gol na fudbalskoj utakmici.
Achievement
The
unlocked.
US didn't destroy the wreck, and the Serbian forces salvaged the mortally wounded Nighthawk unimpeded.
Yeah, wait a minute. Why didn't they give the pilot like something to, like some kind of a bomb or something to detonate inside the plane so nothing's recoverable? Or maybe like it's easier said than done. Maybe how do you do that, right? And what if that thing is danger to him? The detonates before you don't want to have some bomb in there that could detonate earlier than you need it. So in the air, what if it detonates? So a grenade or something like that wouldn't work. Or a hand grenade is shit that's very small. I don't know.
And today, you can still see pieces of Zalko's aircraft in the Museum of Aviation in Belgrade. Zalko always expressed a desire to find the man who shot him down and congratulate him. He finally got his wish in 2011, just 12 years after the incident.
The end of the 20th century was packed with unforgettable military stories. Here's another one. What many call the last tank battle of the century.
This was an absolute insanity, man. This was like, I thought he was going to talk about technical things, but no, he went point to point, minute by minute. This was such a good video, man. This video needs to blow up, man. It's really good. Alright, well, that was how a Nighthawk was shot down by channel Yarnhub. If you like my content, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.